Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we are continuing our coverage of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. So, as we look at what is happening today in the former state of Ethiopia, the question is now being asked: Is the area once known as Ethiopia a failed state? And by all reasoning, that would appear to in fact, unfortunately, be the case. We are now seeing the final breakdown of law order to now include the by all appearances, at least, the the use of extra judicial killings inside of the former state of Ethiopia. There is a video now circulating that shows Abiy loyalist forces executing what could be an adolescent, a person under the age of 18. Who is in custody and in front of a very broad group of individuals is then executed. We're also receiving reports in the West Shia zone that we are starting to see mass executions take place by Abiy loyalist forces taking place inside of some of these Oromo villages to the west of the capital. And that is a leading indicator that society is starting to break down. We continue to see both a ethnic civil war and a inter-ethnic civil war as well taking place in some cases, both ethnically driven and politically driven as well. So just really a horrible situation. You can see the desperation on the part of the Abiy loyalist forces. I would say at this point, you have Addis Ababa, Finfine, for the Oromo watchers, that is, for all intents and purposes, a city-state ruled by the warlord Abiy Ahmed, and his very close allies further to the north, which is quickly becoming its own semi-independent region, where you have factions vying for control. You have even elements within the Amhara region fighting each other. You have Fano fighting, which is a nationalistic paramilitary organization that really became part of this conflict after we saw the defeats of the ENDF by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. And out of desperation, we observed that the what you would define as the central government of the Prosperity Party, the Abiy loyalists, start to arm these other factions out of desperation. And when you do that, there are going to be repercussions, and those repercussions are now you have these lawless armed groups roaming the areas, regions, and doing as they wish. And in the case that we're seeing now, even with what you would call the ENDF, the federal forces, the Abiy loyalist forces, the supposed federal forces, are now taking part in further extrajudicial killings. And what makes this really appalling is the fact that it is a unarmed adolescent that they, for whatever reason, deemed that that person should be eliminated. And we continue to see the desperation taking place in the West Shia zone, which much of this area is under the control of the Oromo Liberation Army. And there are reports coming in that indicate that the ENDF, the Abiy loyalist formations, are becoming increasingly desperate, demoralized, and resorting to really kind of taking those frustrations out on these towns and villages in the Oromia region, as the OLA, the Oromo Liberation Army, continues to prosecute its war effort against the Abiy-led government in Addis Ababa. We're also hearing reports of continued preparations by the Tigrayan Defense Forces of a possible new offensive operation that could be something like we have not yet seen in this conflict, or it could be something like the counter invasion that observed the Tigrayan Defense Forces seizing control, moving south, seizing control of Kobo, Weldia, Desse, Kambalcha, and then at one point directly threatening Addis Ababa. And I would say, given the nature of world events right now in terms of what's going on in Ukraine, it's highly likely that if the TDF were to launch a renewed operation, there wouldn't be as much attention placed on these events, unfortunately, and that's difficult to say. But at the same time, those are the realities on the ground. And we do know that really kind of what prevented the TDF from making its offensive operation complete at the gates of Addis Ababa was the direct intervention by the United States State Department, who did not want to see the TDF enter Addis Ababa over fear of a complete collapse of the society. But we're seeing that now. We're seeing failed state elements taking place right now in terms of war, lack of law and order, and the breakdown of society. And for the former state of Ethiopia, that rests at the feet of Abiy Ahmed. If not for his failed decision-making processes to invade the Tigray region, we wouldn't be looking at this right now. There were options that could have been made that would have not seen what is happening now take place. But through that poor decision-making process, and with the support and tutelage of Isaias Afwerki, of the despotic regime of Eritrea, Abiy Ahmed chose this path. And this was the path of ultimate destruction for Ethiopia, and that is what we are seeing now directly take place. And I do know that, and I've said this before in terms of the Abiy Ahmed buyer's remorse. I know there was a lot of support initially for the future of Ethiopia in terms of both the Prosperity Party and the idea behind the Prosperity Party, but unfortunately for many folks, that did not occur. And ultimately, we understand now what the regime of Abiy Ahmed is looking to do, and what it is trying to do, and ultimately that has failed. And now we are seeing society and the state continue to break down, and is now starting to turn on itself and destroy itself. And I would say at this point, I was able to watch the spokesperson for the Department of Defense really kind of get upset over what he was seeing in Ukraine. Now, with that being said, there are atrocities that vastly exceed what is taking place inside of Ukraine in the Russian-Ukrainian war that is taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. And unfortunately, it's not getting the same sort of attention that that conflict in Europe is getting. But things are really starting to break down in terms of what had been areas of government control. Now we see elements of government that are no longer really part of governance taking its power out on the citizenry of Ethiopia. And we'll probably continue to see that take place as the fighting continues. And again, this is the result of that poor decision-making process by Abiy Ahmed, which led to that disastrous invasion of the Tigray region, which then led to the House of Cards falling, and then the counter-invasion by the Tigrayan Defense Forces, and now quite possibly a renewed operation by the TDF, and we could quite possibly see at some point the House of Cards of the Abiy regime finally fall, given the pressure with the Oromo Liberation Army and the possibility of a new Tigrayan Defense Force operation that could be even greater in terms of manpower and tenacity of operation that we observed earlier with the earlier invasion that seized control of Desse Kombolcha. So we're watching things very, very close. We anticipate something could very well occur in terms of the TDF kicking off a new operation. Where that's going to take place, we're watching this very closely, and we should have some more information regarding that fairly soon. Thanks for joining us, and we'll have more information later. Have a good day, everybody.